What the business, YouTube, episode 62. My name's Jay Florida, and today's career of discussion is a roofer. So, what is a roofer? A roofer is a tradesperson who specializes in the construction, repair, replacement, and maintenance of roofs. They work in the construction industry and ensure roofs are structurally sound and weatherproof to protect buildings from elements like rain, wind, and heat. Now, to give you a piece of history, roofers have been around for over 40,000 years, making it one of the oldest professions in human history. Early builders created shelters using animal hides, mud, and thatch before advancing to clay tiles in 10,000 BC. Metal roofing became popular in the 1800s, and by the early 1900s, mass-produced asphalt shingles were invented. A few basic requirements to becoming a roofer include securing an apprenticeship or joining a union, passing a roofing trade knowledge test and business and finance exams, completing a background check, proof of public liability and property damage insurance, as well as workers' compensation coverage, and applying for a state license if necessary. Now, becoming an established roofer can take you anywhere from 1 month to 4 years and cost you anywhere from $800 to $2,000 when pursuing certifications and licensing. As far as your range as an entry-level roofer, you can expect to make $30,000 to $40,000, with a few things affecting how much you take home being union status, certifications, employment such as commercial or residential, and overtime. A day in life as a roofer can be described as exposure to extreme weather, early mornings, reconstructing, hammering, and physically demanding. As far as opportunity, anyone can apply themselves to become a roofer without any particular barriers being in the way. For that reason, the roofer scores green for opportunity. And as far as examples for this video, we are actually short of a list, since this is not a career that does you fame or notoriety. However, if you're wanting some more information on what it's like to be a roofer or even how to become a roofer, you can do some local outreach or have that conversation with your local roofer the next time you're experiencing some sort of structural integrity issues with your roof. Now, moving on to our fact moment of this video, starting off with fact number 1. The average residential roof size in the U.S. is approximately 1,500 to 1,700 square feet. Fact number 2. Triangular roofs are designed to efficiently shed rain and snow, prevent structural collapse, and create extra attic space. And fact number 3, in 2010, a 22-year-old Thomas Maggio fell 39 stories from the roof of an apartment building on West 63rd Street in New York City and survived after crashing into a parked car. And if you guys want to see more of this content and better, make sure to comment, like, subscribe, send a hype, the whole business. Moving on to our last segment, before we go ahead to the circle of influence, we have health risks and mitigation, starting off with severe injuries as a result of falling from heights and mishandling or malfunctioning equipment, exposure to asbestos and silica dust, which can cause respiratory issues and various cancers, heat stroke and exhaustion as a result of constant work under the sun, hearing loss as a result of long-term exposure to loud noises, and musculoskeletal disorders as a result of lugging around heavy loads of material and repetitive tasks. As far as mitigation, you should always wear a full-body harness secured to an approved anchor point to avoid falling. Ensure the integrity of all equipment before starting, as well as prompt OSHA training for handling equipment. Use respirators and ensure proper ventilation to minimize risk of carcinogen exposure. Utilize PPE such as sunscreen, long sleeves, wide-brimmed hats, and knee pads. Practice proper lifting forms as well as staying hydrated to combat heat-related illnesses and musculoskeletal disorders. And heavy-duty earplugs to minimize hearing loss. Now, that does it for our primary segment. I'm going to go ahead and give the floor to my co-host for the Circle of Influence. What the business, YouTube? Starting off the circle of influence, we have respect. Is this a career or position that brings me respect and dignity? Now, as a roofer, you put the cherry on top, ensuring that buildings and structures are secured from outside factors such as animals, weather, or meddling people. For that reason, the roofer scores green. Moving on, we have growth. Is this a career or position that presents me with the opportunity to grow from a $100,000 earning threshold? For this segment, The roofer scores green, with sources online citing that the roofer has the potential to make anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 in a single year with specific engineering or construction management expertise. Next, we have gore. Is this a career or position that will have me dealing with an abundance of blood, violent action, grotesque imagery, or scenery? And for this segment, the roofer scores green, as in no, you will not be dealing with the mentioned before. And for our last ideological standpoint, we have moral conflict. Is this a career or position that will have me dealing with an abundance of blood, violent action, grotesque imagery, or scenery, or even have me make a decision that would weigh heavy on me later on? And for this segment, the roofer scores green. Moving on to the statistical side of things, we have gender demographics, where men make up about 95% of the industry and women make up about 5% of the industry. Next, we have ethnic demographics, where Caucasians account for 57% of the industry, Hispanics account for 30% of the industry, and African Americans account for 8% of the entire industry. For our last standpoint, we have location demographics, top paying states, no particular order, starting things off with California, followed by Nevada and Minnesota, and closing things off with Illinois and Alaska. Now that does it for the circle of influence. I'm gonna go ahead and give the floor back to Florida. I'm back. Just to summarize the roofer, if you could take the top off of your house in an instant, you would realize how many small things we take for granted. Surprisingly, it scores green all across the board, with my favorite of them being you earn a potential of $500,000 per year. And your pockets won't take a big hit when pursuing this career, though one thing that you'll constantly have to put up with is the backbreaking labor of this industry. Now, with that being said, it does look like we have a full episode today. The word of the day is trauma. Self-help resources on the board. As always, I'll leave it down in the description. And again, if you guys want to see more of this content and better, make sure to comment, like, subscribe, send a hype, the whole business. And I'll see you guys on episode 63.